Hello, in this video we are going to discuss about agents in little more detail. As we have seen this workflow for our social media strategy solution, let's focus on the agents. As you see here, we have agents like trend research specialist, social media content creator, social media analytics specialist, social media scheduler and manager, and finally an agent for emailing the results. So, what these agents are? By nature, these agents perform a task. You see here, trend research specialist performs the task of researching industry trends. These agents, they make decisions, maintain memory of interactions, they collaborate with other agents, and they delegate tasks to other agents when allowed to do so, and they use tools to do their task. Now let's go into the details of how an agent is formed and what are the attributes that they are consisting of. First of all, you can see here role. The role of this particular agent is trend research specialist. Attributes, it has a goal to discover and analyze trending topics, hashtags, conversations in the industry. You can see here industry is parameterized, which means we are going to provide this runtime to identify content opportunities that will drive engagement and reach. And there is a backstory for each agent. The backstory is about giving a persona to the agent. It says you are a digital trend analyst with expertise in social media monitoring and industry research. You have a keen eye for spotting emerging trends, viral content patterns, and conversation starters that resonate with target audiences. Your background includes working with major brands to identify content opportunities that drive engagement and build community. So, what you see here, it has three major attributes. One is the role, one is the goal that it's trying to achieve, and to achieve that goal, we give a persona or a backstory to the agent. The agent is going to use one of the models. Here you can see it has been selected the GPT-4o mini, but we can change it. Depending on the subscription we have for one or another model, we can change the model. It's taking some time to load the models, but here we can see. So, who are the model providers? You can see here we have OpenAI, we have Cohere, Google Gemini, AWS Bedrock, Anthropic, from Azure OpenAI, and so on. So you can select the provider or select the model. In fact, you can search the model as well. So what it says, popular models that work well with most tasks are these. So they have recommended that you can choose one of these models. Let's keep as it is and go back. Now under tools, it has already been associated with a tool called Search the Internet with Serper, a tool that can be used to search the internet with the search query. Now the task we have in hand is to search the internet for the trending topics. And based on that, we have selected a tool. Then we have LLM settings, large language model settings, which is set to a temperature of, let's say, lower is zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.3, higher is zero point 0.7 to zero point 0.9. Now, what is this temperature? So, if you put lower temperature for factual responses, you will get good results. If you set the temperature to higher, like more than zero point 0.7, it will be more creative. In industries where you need deterministic results, you can go for lower temperature. But in areas where you want to be more creative and more experimental, you can go for higher temperatures. But remember, the more you want your LLM to be creative, it could hallucinate more as well. So you have to decide what temperature you will set for your model. Then we have agent settings. Quite a bit of settings over here. First of all, it says reasoning. Reflect on a task and create a plan before execution. Right now, it is disabled by default. Max reasoning attempts. It talks about maximum number of reasoning attempts before executing the task. If empty, will try until ready. Allow delegation. Allow the agent to delegate the task to other agents. Maximum number of iterations before the agent must provide its best answer. Because we know the large language models, they get us answers, and sometimes we don't get the expected answer. That's where the maximum iterations it can go for. Maximum requests per minute to avoid rate limits. Now let's say you allow the large language model to receive as many requests possible. That could almost throttle, that could almost create a bottleneck. That's where you can set requests per minute to this model so that rate limits are avoided. And max execution time, it's the maximum time for an execution. And you can set a response format over here. So these are some of the settings for your agent. We have another agent, social media analytics specialist, social media scheduler, and manager. Now we have just one large language model associated with this agent, but there is no tool. And it is fine. We may not require a tool to be associated with every agent. The final agent is results emailer. This agent is going to send the email of the final result, final outcome to the recipient. And it needs a tool to do so. That's where we have associated it with Microsoft Outlook. So, in summary, what we learn, we have a number of agents. They come together, work together to achieve our goal. And to remind you, what is our goal here? Our goal here is to create a social media strategies or social media management and analytics solution. Hope you remember the conversation between Lisa and Misa, where Lisa wants to know how is it possible to maintain the social media with so much of attention and with right engagement with the audience. That's where Misa proposed that we should look into this particular solution. So that's about it, the agents as part of our problem solution or social media strategic solution using agentic AI. Thank you.